Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's up, everybody? Kevin Jackson here. It's a Kevin Jackson Show. Glad you guys are with me. Hope you're having a good week so far. I got to tell you, it's a stellar week for conservatism. It's a stellar week for Donald Trump. It's a stellar week for all the people in the Trump food chain who've been accused of all kinds of malfeasance. You know what we're finding out? Well, you know what? Let's just recap. Starting with Weinstein, the dam started to break. Hollyweird was on notice. Suddenly, sexual abuse and misconduct was in the mainstream. And we know who owns Hollywood. Picture after picture of these lecherous Democrats all hugging on Weinstein. Even his accusers all hugging on Weinstein. Then we find out that it's not just women. No, Kevin Spacey, he's all into the boys. So is Charlie Sheen. So are many others. And all Hollywood is a pucker. Am I going to be the one next? It's not over. It's still looming out there. But you know what the beauty of it is? It intertwined between politics and pop culture. Because the stars want to be part of the political scene. You've got De Niro and Damon and Barbra Streisand, all these entertainers and Hollyweirdos that want to, feel like they're part of it. Even, what was his name? George Clooney. They all want to be a part of the political scene. And then, of course, all the politicos want to be a part of the Hollywood scene. And suddenly, none of them want to be a part of the scene. None of them can be seen. Because now we know the deal. And by the way, it is nowhere near over. Once the bow breaks and we find out the level of debauchery of these people, you know what's going to come back? All that Pizzagate crap that everybody dismissed. All the pedophile rings. Things like that. We're starting to hear about those stories. Yeah, they just busted a big pedophile ring in Disney. We'll talk about it. So things are starting to happen. Things are occurring. People are starting to get smarter. They no longer believe the media. What was the guy's name? The ABC correspondent. Does it really matter? Whether it's Brian Williams or Brian Ross or whomever, what we do know is that they want to fit a narrative, or they want to be bigger than the news like Brian Williams or maybe Stephanopoulos or many others. We find out, folks, they're part of the system. They're part of the dirt. We've learned this. They colluded with the DNC. 65 people colluded to make sure Hillary won. And what happened? She got her butt kicked. She lost. The gods are conspiring against the left. Finally, God has said, you know what? Enough of Sodom and Gomorrah. What do we find out recently? We find out that the FBI that we know is crooked, when Comey sat there and explained that, I remember getting more and more jubilant every sentence he read. I was like, oh, right, they're finally going to throw the book at her. And then we find out, well, it was no longer gross negligence, but, slap on the wrist time. And we're sitting there jaw agape going, what are you talking about? How can you possibly delete 33,000 emails, bleach bit your hard drives, take a hammer to them, have your own server that you claim doesn't have classified information? We find out through the emails that didn't manage to get through the system that you did do that. Those emails are then determined that they had the highest levels of classification, at least 6 of them. And I could go on, and you've denied it. Then we got meetings at tarmac that everybody goes, oh, they're just happenstance. And then she doesn't serve a day in prison, not even indicted, and looks at it as some vast right-wing conspiracy. Meanwhile, Mike Flynn, he's taking the fall. Why? Because he's a Republican. He's a stand-up guy. He's not going to let other people take the fall for what he did, so he's willing to take his punishment. But meanwhile, if you don't think the world is noticing what's going on with these people, you are crazy. We finally got something leaching down to the level of the minions, the sodomites, the lowest common denominator of voter that's watching this stuff. And the left want to still pass these people off as reasonable. We've got a war on men that's occurring right before our eyes. But you know what? It isn't a war on conservative men. Oh, they can bring up Roger Ailes. They can bring up O'Reilly. Bring up whoever you want. The war on men is Weinstein, Bill Clinton, Conyers, who resigned, Al Franken, who's going to still remain under fire, We're going to take these guys out one by one. They're going to be eunuchs, useless in the political process. You know what's going to be left? It's going to be nothing but a bunch of wicked women. And the distance between them and the true ladies of this world, the conservative women, could not be more stark. We know exactly how far apart they are. They are light years apart. We have women of character on our side. They don't. They have people that will step on their husbands. They will cut off their husbands' naughty bits to get ahead. And most of them have done it. Bill Clinton is as cuckold as they come. So I'm watching this play out. Donald Trump, President Trump says, this system is crooked, it's corrupt, it needs to be drained, it needs to be rebuilt from the bottom up. We have 2 senators leaving. They're leaving trying to pretend that, oh, well, look at that Donald Trump. He's crazy. They've sided with the dark side. And you know what this history's going to write about them? They're idiots. Look at the people that are starting to come in line. We talked about it yesterday. Orrin Hatch and others saying, you know what? Best president I've worked for. Gets it done. Doesn't let things stand in his way. He's undoing everything he promised to do, and he's showing you how crooked this system is. I'll ask you this question, folks. Do you believe we would be getting to the bottom of this if Hillary Clinton had won? What do you think we'd be dealing with? What world would you have? If you don't believe there is a God, if there's one of you out there that's a naysayer, I promise you, you show me something that shows how God's divine hand in something that's better than this, because I want to see it. He's exposing all their dirt. Trump won because he had to win. And for those of you who want to remain naysayers, I don't really care. I'm not going to lecture you. Do what you want. But you ask yourself, what would we be uncovering? And I've told anybody that's willing to listen, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again today. People think that man is dumb. Keep thinking and underestimate him. How many people have you underestimated in your life that showed you something? People said to me, Kevin, Donald Trump, Mueller's not, he's not a team player. He's a lefty. And oh my gosh, he's hiring all those leftists. And I said, Trump's not worried about that because he's got the truth on his side. And let me tell you, when Mueller keeps investigating, what's going to happen is they're going to snake bite themselves. And I'll be a son of a gun if I'm not right about it. And I tweeted to Donald Trump and to others. I said, let me tell you, this man knew exactly what he was doing when he let these snakes bite themselves.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177, or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.